Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining today's session, the Pecha Kucha. My name is Karina Karanwi from Impact Hub Lagos. I'm the Africa Middle East regional host, and I am super excited about today's session. I'm going to share my screen and talk you through a bit about what you can expect from the session. So I see we're all joining. Thank you for the hearts. Welcome, 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 everyone. Okay, so we'll kick off quickly. Today, we are going to take you through what we call a Pecha Kucha, and we'll be hearing stories from businesses and entrepreneurs around the world across the network who are leading change. Now, you might be wondering what a Pecha Kucha is. Some of us might have heard of what a Pecha Kucha is. If you do know what it is, please let us know in the chat box. You are way ahead of the curve, but I'll talk you through briefly what it is. It's a presentation style that originated in Japan, and it's very quick, it's very engaging, and essentially each presenter has 20 seconds for each of their slides, and they have 20 slides. The kicker here is that there are no words on the slides, so it's all images. So they're really telling you their stories in the most engaging and fun way possible. We have four speakers today from various regions. We have one from Saudi Arabia. We have Amira and Ahlam Clinton from Baha, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We have Petra from PS Taboo in Loughborough, England. Dr. AB from Lagos, Nigeria. And finally, we have Nika from Phnom Penh in Cambodia. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the speakers to you and have them take it off with their presentations. After each presentation, we'll have a short time for quick questions. So, we'll be taking 2 questions per presentation, which we can have in the Q&A box. So, first off, we have Amira and Ahlam Clinton, who are the founders of Baha in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And Baha is a social impact company that produces clothing using innovative textiles and designs to help people with disabilities and special needs live their lives normally and reduce their dependence on others. So, welcome, Ahlam. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I will let you take it away with your Pecha Kucha.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Ahlam, and this is my father. He is a retired professor, very independent, very social person. When the doctor told him that he would have to wear a sling for 3 weeks and that he might lose some range of motion in his shoulder after the operation, that flipped his life upside down. My father is a very social person, but he was unable to change his clothes independently. Uh, he needed 30 minutes to change his clothes. Something he used to do within 2 minutes now changed his life. He was socially isolated, sat at home, didn't leave. And that got me thinking, if someone just lost his movement temporarily, got isolated at home because he did not find clothes that helped him change his clothes independently, what about people with permanent disability? Because I'm a pediatric physical therapist, I contacted my patients and I asked them, is this a real problem? Or am I just imagining? So I got different feedbacks. Some told me, we're just used to it. What are you going to do? And others told me, no, this is the problem. Help us. So I sat with 75 more mothers and 15 adults just to reach the problem and pinpoint them. And then I conducted a survey and got 165 replies for the problems that they are facing with these clothes. I found that there are 4 main problems that most of people with disability face. The first is having tubes that they need on a daily basis and cannot remove. So that limits the type of clothing that they can actually wear. And the clothing that they can wear is not very nice, something they can't actually go out wearing. The second problem was that they have specific positions that they cannot get out of. So let's say like maybe the first one on the left, it makes it very difficult for them to wear the garments that are actually present in the market. The third problem was that they had splits, as in orthosis or prosthesis, and that limits also the type of clothing that they can wear. The fourth problem was that the caregiver had to deal with all of the above, which made their life very difficult, and it isolated most of them at home, and they were unable to participate in communities. So after all of this, Baha was born. Baha is an Arabic word that means extreme beauty. We are the first Saudi brand that designs and manufactures and innovates clothing that is very functional and also very beautiful for people with physical disability. We are aligned with our Saudi vision of 2030, which is including people of disability in the community and empowering them with our clothing. We are also aligned with several SDG goals. The most important one is good health and well being. In our journey searching about these clothes, which are called adaptive clothes, we found that the researchers show that clothes are not just clothing, they are the way you express yourself. If you're unable to express yourself, you enter a social isolation, as what happened to my father. So if you provide them with clothing that they can actually wear and go out in community, you are helping them be part of the community. A lot of people that I contacted during the my research told me that they were unable to attend family gatherings and special occasions because they don't have the garments that they can wear to this type of occasion. Even school, a lot of people will stop going to school because they were unable to find something they can wear to school. So that got me shift from being a physical therapist into a fashion designer. So I started to get some courses in fashion design. I went to Institut France de la Mode in Paris. I just tried to understand how can I make these garments that are everywhere, and we are used to wearing the shirt in this way, the pants in this way. How can we change it? With our consultants of people with disability, I was able to have 7 intellectual properties of the functionality of clothing. So it's the way you wear the clothes. And we edit and kept editing and editing and editing until we reached the final designs. Many of our consultants have a physical disability. One of them is Ahmed. Ahmed, I know him from 2018. He was just a baby. That's Ahmed. He did not have a lot of problem with his clothing because he was small. As he grew, he got heavier and he got taller, and it was difficult for his mom to change his clothes. She needed the help of 2 people to change his clothes, which meant that he would change his clothes every 2-3 days. And it was affecting their social life. They weren't going out a lot. So he started to wear Bahat clothes. And now he changes his clothes daily with the help of only his mother. That proved to us that we can actually change people's life with our clothing, helping the individual of disability and the caregiver. The second problem is that Ahmed was unable to participate in our celebration of Eid because in Eid we usually wear our traditional clothing, which is thobe for men. And he was unable to wear it because in his chair he needs to put a 3-buckle belt. And the thobe is a long garment and you can't wear it with a belt. This is Ahmed in Eid last year wearing our thobe, celebrating with the family, going on the outings with the family and all of the gatherings. When we gave him the thobe, it was very heartwarming that the mother contacted us and she said, we were able to go out in the community looking gorgeous like everyone else. That's him and his brother in Eid. And he was able to go out with the whole family, not wearing the pants and shirt like every year. So that helped us a lot believe in our mission. And Baha's main goal now is to create fashion that is easy to reach elegance with ease. And if you'd like, this is our barcode. You can follow us on our social media. Thank you very much. I think I finished early, so
Cool, and international conferences. Petra is an activist and a UN Women UK delegate and runs the only existing online abortion support group in Croatia. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Petra. I will hand over to you now.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you very much for having me here. It's quite an honor and quite a challenge actually to go after Ahlam and to present. I would like to take you right from the start of the development of PS Taboo. So you can imagine a September rainy day, as it tends to be. And I was just where that red dot was in my master's, sitting there when I was scrolling through Facebook, and I got to encounter this post that actually changed my entire life, which spoke about the difficulties of a student in Germany trying to find her mentors to work on her thesis on the topic of stigma of menstruation in Western media. And the difficulties were because the professors found it to be a too controversial topic to work on. And this was a quite of a glass shattering moment for me in my life, because I got to realize in that moment, became aware of the fact that menstruation is a taboo. And for days on, I started actually thinking how the fact that it is a taboo influenced me and my life, and how much it changed the way that I dressed, the way that I went around my day, the way that I shopped in stores, the way that I went around my romantic relationships. And pretty much it would shift the way that I did things. And so this kind of got me to really thinking that this is an important topic that needs to be considered more, because it influences half of the world's population. But before I go forward, just to define what taboos actually are, there are a social or a religious custom that prohibits or restricts a particular practice, association with a person, place, action, event, or thing. Now, we of course have some that are local, but we have some that are globally shared, as you can see in the background. And this got me on a journey, and I traveled to India, where I did my research for 3 months and collaborated with 7 organizations to develop a product that you can see in the bottom left, that aims to enable conversations inside families to actually work on the topic. And what I got to see is that through the work, one of the 3 truths on taboos that I want to share with you. And the first one is that taboos influence every single aspect of a human's life. not just in the domain, like for example, menstruation falls under health, but it actually has a ripple effect on every other. The second truth is that taboos influence every person on this planet Earth, directly or indirectly. If you're a woman, you're automatically under more than one. And the third is that it is the biggest impactor on human and societal health and well-being. And the issue is that we don't talk about them, which means that they tend to be in the shadow. And in like a situation like myself, when I became aware that it is a taboo, it is very hard to actually go and ask for help, which means that many people have their issues untouched and unsolved. And the issue comes even more when we actually realize that as human beings, we do not exist in a vacuum, which means if I feel uncomfortable to talk about, for example, mental health with my friends in a bar, how can I then actually go and create policies and create solutions for my employees if I work in a government, or even support my friends and family if I cannot even approach it objectively? And this is something that we can see in the statistics in the world, such as the fact that research shows that mental health is an issue for every second person on earth at least once in their lifetime, or the WHO pronounced defecation to be one of the last taboos because we're afraid to speak about poop, yet it takes more lives than any conflict. And this is where PS Taboo comes in, because the change happens with a very simple and important thing, and that is conversation. The aim is to create a space and support people to actually have conversations so that we can start making changes for us as individuals, but also for us as organizations and hopefully governments. And this is how PS Taboo works in three categories. Number one is education, both at universities and in organizations. The second is conducting research and consulting. And third is conducting talks either at conferences or for organizations. And in a very short time that PS Taboo exists, because I started more focused in January, I got to collaborate with companies, universities, and corporations across 4 continents, which was great to be able to actually test as well in different contexts the work and the products. Um, but it all pretty much started and was supported by Impact Hub, and one of the first was from the Break Fellowship, which gathers female entrepreneurs across Europe for a month in Spain, where we were able to test and further work on our ideas. And upon my return as well to Croatia, which was in December, I also became a part of Queer Biz, which is an incubator in collaboration with Impact Hub that supports queer people to enhance their work, and also through networking and through events and through direct mentoring, where we can learn about the important things of running a business. But basically, I decided to stay in Croatia even though I work internationally, because the statistics are horrible. It is the third country for femicide in Europe. Our domestic abuse increased by even 35% within a year, and racism is increasing with an enhance of immigration, and of course topics like abortion, which is an issue all around the world. But this also means that the work started to change as well, by bringing conversations on taboos directly to people through products such as a podcast and live in-person events where we can actually practice conversations, and also creations of products such as card sets so that we can facilitate conversations and practice them in our day to day. And I would also like to take this opportunity to invite you to as well have, by the end of the day, one conversation at least on a topic that you would otherwise avoid, because talking about taboos is a muscle after all, and we get to actually acclimatize our nervous system of fear to not have it with more that we do that. So that is all from me. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity, and it's extremely inspiring to be here with you. And I hope we can connect and support each other to make this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Petra. That was incredible. I absolutely love the concept of discussing taboo topics. It's so important. More vulnerability, more connection across the network. Thank you so, so much. You can see the comments in the chat box, really inspiring. Awesome. I agree. I agree. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Petra. Do we have any questions for Petra? Any additional comments? It is very brave. I agree. Yes. Very, very brave. I'll just check on the Q&A section. Any questions for Petra? And it'll be interesting to also see in the chat box what taboo topics we are going to be taking on before the end of today. What difficult
Let's
conversations.
hold people accountable.
I think it's important. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Amazing. So no questions just yet, but the Q&A section remains open throughout this presentation for any questions you might have for Petra, for Ahlam, and for our additional speakers coming up. And thank you so much, Mackenzie, for the link. What taboo topics are we going to be discussing today? Looking forward to seeing all of that in the chat box. Thank you very much, Petra, once again. And we will go on to our next speaker. Fantastic. So today we also have with us Dr. A.B. Offrey, who is the founder of Care Solutions. So Dr. A.B. Offrey is from here, Lagos, Nigeria, and he's a distinguished medical professional with over 2 decades of experience in the healthcare industry. Being the CEO and co founder of Care, he and his team are trailblazers in health technology, using cutting edge innovations to provide medical access to underserved populations, with a specific focus on the elderly and rural communities in Africa. The community was a company rather was selected as a top 30 African healthcare innovation by the World Health Organization, a finalist for the Kofi Annan Award for Innovation in 2022, amongst numerous other accolades. Dr. Offrey's mission is deeply rooted in creating a positive impact in the world, very aligned with our Impact Hub. His vast experience and diverse experiences enable him to empower others and drive meaningful change in the healthcare and business industries. Thank you so much, Dr. AB. Welcome. And I will let you take it away with your presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. A.B. Offrey, co-founder and CEO of Care. It's indeed exciting to be here this morning, especially because I never thought I'll be here leading a technology startup dedicated to elderly care. The journey has been quite exhilarating and also nothing short of serendipitous, especially because just 10 years ago, I was a practicing doctor, fully immersed in my career and enjoying what I was doing. I was on the path to becoming a consultant gynecologist or orthopedic surgeon. However, it seems life had other plans for me. At that time, my father had two massive strokes. And that was not because there's nothing I could have done. I was simply living and working in another location at the time. It made me feel helpless. And subsequently, my mother called me and told me her blood pressure and blood sugar were extremely high. But not just that, she said I had neglected them. Well, like many of us, I thought that was impossible. How could I neglect my own parents? Am I still on this call? Because it seems the slideshow had turned off, so I'm not sure if you're still hearing me. If you're still hearing me, please let me know. Okay, perfect. So my father, as I mentioned, had two strokes in the space of 1 year. And that was not because there's nothing I could have done. I was simply living and working in another location at the time. So subsequently, my mother called me and told me her blood pressure and blood sugar were extremely high. But that was not just it. She said something that jolted me. She said I had neglected them. And like many of us, I thought that was impossible. How could I neglect my own parents? But then I realized that while focused on my business and my career, and even my immediate family, has subconsciously neglected this special group of people. It also occurred to us that this problem affected millions and millions of Nigerians living and working far away from where their parents were. And the only time they heard anything most times was when something went tragically wrong. We realized also that this problem was not peculiar to me, as statistics had shown that in Nigeria, for instance, by the age of 40, you will have lost one, or there's some 5% chance you will have lost one or both parents to untimely death, or have at least one of them severely incapacitated by a medical condition that could have been prevented simply because of an absence of care for them. My partners and I thought this was unacceptable, and then we left our cozy jobs to launch and grow GeroCare. Now, GeroCare leverages technology and traditional African family values of adult children caring for their parents to provide a structure for care for them. With these children being able to provide care because the government was not doing it, even the health insurance companies in Nigeria was not doing it. And so GeroCare made it possible for Nigerians wherever they are in the world to subscribe for regular doctor home visits and home medical care for their parents in Nigeria using GeroCare platform. All they had to do was to sign up on the GeroCare platform, add their parents as beneficiaries, and they are matched, make a payment, and then they are matched to a doctor. And then this doctor begins regular doctor home visits to the elderly and provides us, the children, with real-time feedback wherever we are in the world. And by real-time feedback, I mean when the doctor gets to the home, he checks in on his application. Wherever you are in the world, you are notified the doctor is in your house. Once he's done, he checks out. When he checks out, you are notified that the doctor has left. You then receive a summary on how your parents are doing. You pay there your app if they require drugs, if they require tests. And this is provided to them in their home. We're able to do this because we have created a cloud-based hospital platform that converts the entire experience of the hospital to the patient's home, from doctor home visits to drugs at home and even specialist reviews, with the doctor appearing connected to everybody else you need and only having to request for investigations. There is application that goes to our pharmacy network, who then delivers to you at home. And we are proud to say that right now, in the past 7 years, we've been able to successfully and consistently solve this problem by providing over 150,000 doctor home visits to the elderly. And in that time, we've won numerous awards, one of the most notable of which is the top 30 African healthcare innovation given to us by the World Health Organization. Also, top 50 business innovators in Africa given to us by the Africa Innovation Summit. We are also currently in 3 offices in Nigeria, in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. And we also have 3 international outposts to serve the diaspora community in Canada, in the UK, and in Australia, where we have country directors. We also noted that though there have been challenges, GeroCare is more than just a healthcare service because we are connecting families back together. Each time the doctor arrives at the patient's home and the doctor sees the patient, it's like the son or daughter, wherever he is, sending a hug over to the parents, reminding them that they've not been forgotten, reminding them that they've not been neglected. Also, I'm reminded of why I do this each time I get home and I see my father and the extended family. It helps me understand that he's able to be alive now. He's able to talk to the people he's talking to. He's able to enjoy the benefits of being an elderly loved one simply because of GeroCare. Because without GeroCare, he might not have been alive today. We also received numerous testimonials from both our sponsors and the elderly beneficiaries, telling us how wonderful this service has been and how happy their parents are. The sponsors are able to relax where they are, have peace of mind, knowing GeroCare is fully taking care of their parents. And the parents are able to feel less like a burden to the children because Gero Care is taking care of everything else they need. So it's important to note that Gero Care is not just a business. We are all about love. We are all about commitment. We are all about creating a lasting solution. So thank you very much for listening. And I really hope the General Care story has inspired us to be a change, not just in where we are, but make an impact to a lot of people. Because just one person can impact thousands of people, as is seen by the General Care story. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I would love to have a time to chat with us as we go on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Avi. Amazing. We can see all the comments in the chat box, extremely inspiring. And we really do love what you are doing. Focus on what is so essential. Well done on the amazing work. Thank you so much for presenting to us. As always, the chat box and the Q&A section is open for any questions for Dr. Avi. But we can see the comments are going crazy. Truly inspiring. Congratulations. Beautiful story. Thank you so much. Really a story of love. Okay, so if we have any questions for Dr. AB, please feel free to send them in the Q&A section at any point through this presentation. At the moment, we'll go on to our next presenter, who is Nika Tath from Phnom Okay, so I'm going to briefly present Nika's bio. I'm really excited. This is our final presenter of the day. So Nika is the founder of Nika Seeing Hands Massage Therapy Center. She is a Shiatsu and ANMA certified massage therapy center owner, and both a national and international advocate for the blind and visually impaired in Cambodia. Nika advocates for women with disabilities to enter the workforce by ensuring support and access are provided to overcome barriers. Nika established a business to train more visually impaired people in massage therapy in Cambodia. Welcome, Nika. It is incredible to have you here with us today. I will hand over to you for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. It is a great honor to be here, and thank you very much for letting me in. My name is Nika. I am a massage therapy and massage instructor in Cambodia. I was started this massage job in since 1995, and we have two courses. First, we have learned from the beginning, including anatomy and physiology, and second, we have to start with the second course in 1996. I am the only one child who is blind. By loving and caring from my family, they do not let me do anything at all since I was growing up until I was the age of 17, and I entered to a Meronol organization, rehabilitation center for the blind in Cambodia. Um, Actually, I don't think that I can live at home forever and ever and get support from my parents forever and ever either. If I do not do anything for myself, I will be know nothing and jobless until I'm old. I have been doing massage since 1995 until now. It is over 30 years now. After I have been learning for first and second course from 1995 until 1997, I have been working for 2 years as a practitioner. And in 1997, I was invited from the Merino organization, which I have received a massage training course to teach the third blind massage group. After I have finished the third massage training course, I have moved out myself from the Merino organization or center with my other four classmate. Until 2004, after I working for a while, I have 9 years of experience. I was selected from JICA organization to learn to be a massage instructor in Japan, in Okinawa, for 6 months as a massage instructor. After I came back from Japan to Cambodia, I have taught to other people who has low level of massage techniques. Yes, and in that time, I am working as a business partners, have 4 people, including myself, there are 5 people. After I have been trained from Japan, I came back to Cambodia and I taught some blind people, especially based on women with disabilities, which I want to support the most. And in 2010, I have moved out myself to be alone. As a blind woman, I thought if we keep doing this with many people, this is not good. That's why I want to show and I want to learn and I want to know what is my weak point and my strong one. I want to understand how is my ability and I want to try my ability. If without any group or with myself, how can I improve or whatever it has happened in the future. And in 2013, I was invited from blind school in South Sudan to teach other blind people in South Sudan for 3.5 months. And after I completed for a couple months, later on, I have moved back to Cambodia and I continue my business. And in 2018, I was invited from Myanmar Blind School in Mandalay to teach, to have a workshop with the blind, over 31 students, blind people, to train Amai Shiatsu. After that, everything collapsed. After I have moved out myself to be alone, I thought that I can do everything, but everything not whatever I expected. My business collapsed and I'm alone. I have nothing to do after COVID. And I thought, oh, I have to move myself out from Cambodia. But my vision and my heart do not let me do that at all because I have to be myself. I have to do something for my nation and everyone else around the world who need my unique massage techniques. After that, COVID had been over. I started my business again and I have collected all my colleagues and my other students to create my business again. And now we have advertised from the website, through the website and through mouth, from mouth to mouth, and everything has been succeed for what I have imagined. Because we have taught many people, and if we use our heart to do everything, and will be success. Do not stop or do not give up whatever you determine. It will be succeed whatever you imagine and whatever you want for everyone else, especially for the blind. Right now, I have 6 people, including myself. There are 7 people are working together, and we have many clients who supporting us and enjoying what we are doing, and they keep supporting and they keep coming again and again. And right now, we have a great news that the Ministry of Commerce and Department of Intellectual Property, they accepted. We have a new logo for our place called Tatnika Shiatsu and Amma Massage Center, and we have to receive the certificates within next month. We are so much thankful for this, for what we have tried our big effort for many years. Now we have received within a couple weeks later on, and we are so happy. And we also have been accepted not to take a tax payment for our business. I'm so much thankful. I really appreciate for your time and for listening to my story. And my last message, I would like to share and would like to leave my small message to everyone, especially for women with disability. If you have discouraged, please do not be hopeless at all. Whatever we want, whatever we imagine, it will become to our heart who are waiting for your success, and do not be hopeless or do not think that we are the only one blind around the world. We have many people who want to support us. If we know who we are and if we understand what we need, we have to collect all people and women to select our one voice and then raise our voice up to show to all people what we need and what we want from other people surrounding us. And we want from all of you, and we want you to support us in every way you can, in every way and every circumstances. Thank you very much.
Chào bạn Hồng. Những cái comment on cái comment
One seems we've lost Karina for a second there. I'm Stephanie. Really want to thank Nika and of course Moni for supporting Nika in this session. We have quite a number of questions for all of our different speakers. So what I will do now is I will just push some of our questions on stage, and then we can have our speakers respond to that. I will just push all of our speakers to the stage right now, actually. Okay, so our first question is for Dr. Abi. And Dr. Abi, I hope everyone can hear me. Okay, great. Our first question for Dr. Abi is, what would you say has been the biggest challenge in establishing your business and organization? This is a question from Martina in Impact Hub London.
Okay. So there are two basic challenges. The first is the fact that most people are comfortable with episodic care. That means providing care when something has already happened. But that will not work for the elderly because they need to be visited regularly to ensure nothing happens. Because when something happens, it's extremely difficult to get them back to optimal level. To help them understand that when the parents seem okay visibly, is not a reason why you avoid a doctor visit. So doctors visit regularly, whether the patient seems good or not, just like a regular monthly ward round, to be sure everything is fine, and enable us catch things very early. So before a condition becomes an emergency, we catch it at the earliest possible stage. The second challenge was the fact that because we are getting information about your parents' personal details, we needed to spend a little time to try and create the trust because our sponsors or customers are maybe in diaspora. They have no idea who we are. But when providing the information, they're inputting their mother's home address and providing us all the access to her. They need to be sure we're who we say we are. So we needed to, in the early days, have competitions validate what we're doing and also partner with credible names already so we can piggyback on their own credibility over the years. So those are the two top challenges. And focusing on preventive care, because most people are used to episodic care, and creating a trust factor to enable people to provide their parents' details to us, even without meeting us physically.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Abi. Thank you. Thank you. Our next question is from Shalakbe. Another question for Care. Has the business gotten greater impact post-COVID? What do you envision for the future? and what collaborations have been most helpful and surprising?
So, interestingly for us, the business received impact post COVID, but not for the reasons you would think. During COVID, everybody thought in Nigeria, for instance, telemedicine will become more rampant. However, the opposite was the case, in the sense that people did not want to go to hospitals, but they still wanted a physical doctor. And so we're able to leverage our network of doctors to begin to provide home services, even to non-elderly, just to make sure we're able to see them in their homes because we already had them. And so because of that, the awareness about what we did was increased. And a lot more people used our services afterwards. Also, because during COVID, we launched a program where we provided free face masks and hand sanitizers for the elderly that the children had to subscribe for. So even people that don't know about us began to know about us and used us post-COVID. Right now, the key partnerships we're looking into are organizations to help us inform Nigerians in diaspora that this service exists. This problem they have, there is a solution for it. But no matter how much you spend on marketing now, it seems some people are still not aware. So any partnerships that can take the word out to other countries, letting them know this solution exists in Nigeria will be useful. And we are also looking to launch into other countries because it's not just Nigeria experiencing this problem. We're going into Kenya, we're looking at Ethiopia because they have similar demographics and have similar problems. Our goal is to provide this service for Africans and not just Nigerians, ensuring any African outside Africa can still provide care for their parents in Africa.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. AB. We have two final questions before we move on to our next session. A question for Baha, also from Shalakbe. Your innovation is so needed everywhere in the world. What are your plans to scale? Also, how do you implement the SDG 12 part of your goals, responsible consumption and production? Hi, Ahlam, can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, you can go
Okay.
ahead.
I was muted and talking. Sorry.
It's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Our plan to scale up for now, what we're doing is that we're actually testing the Saudi market and let's say the Gulf market, what they need, because we realized that when we sat down with the Saudi customers or the people within the Gulf area, we needed specific type of fabrics that are different than other regions because of the climate that we live in, which is the desert. So we needed specific type of garments. So we found that we needed to work on the bamboo fabric. Uh, but the challenges was when we went to all the factories, when we wanted to start sewing our garments, they would refuse because what we do is different than a regular shirt or a regular pants. It looks different. And they would have to stop production, do some tests, make sure that it works on their machines, and then product what we need. So our goal is that we need to actually have a factory within Saudi Arabia and to get the support from the Saudi government to actually have fabrics in Saudi Arabia and to have the 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 sewing to be done within Saudi Arabia, also to have it 100% 100% product of Saudi Arabia. That also would help us lower the cost because we have a very high quality product, and really we need to lower our cost also. Can I see the other question?
Yes, so we have one final question for all the speakers, and I think it would be great if Nika and Petra could answer it. But just so we can round up on a high note, I would love to invite Shalakbe up to the stage to ask the startups the question directly. Shalakbe, are you available to come up to stage to ask the question? Fantastic. Hi, Shalakbe, can you hear us?
Hi, Karina. I guess I get this for asking the most questions, but I'm just fascinated and inspired by all our amazing speakers. And thank you so much for the awesome work you all do. So the question really is to all of you. You have highlighted things that I find so innovative and so inspiring, and solutions that scale across the entire world. So the question is, how can we all work together to scale all of you? As in, I'm so blown away by everything I've heard today. And kudos to Karina and the team, Moni, everyone for selecting these amazing speakers. So the question is, how can we all come together to scale all of you? I think if the entire network scaled these four innovations, even that would be amazing work done in the next 1 to 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalakpe. So Petra, and then Nika, would you like to go ahead, and then we'll have the rest of the speakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Salapi, for the. Can you hear me?
There's a bit of a muffle, but we can just
Yeah, I don't know. It's
okay. There we go.
taking
You're good.
away. Yeah. But oh, is it coming from me?
Maybe if we can all mute our mics just in case.
Yeah. Okay.
There
Thank
we go.
you.
Better.
Well, thank you very much for the, for the question, and I think that's any person who is the founder always wants to hear. But I think it's probably depending on, what is the different type of business. But I would say that probably step number one is really, at least in my view, is connecting on LinkedIn, or Instagram or anywhere else, and supporting, because I think sharing the work and sharing the word goes really, really far. I have incredible connections with people who I have never met in my life. I have only been, following their story, and just simply sharing the information, and simply get connected, write directly the message, keep the connection, and just supporting on the way, because I think it's also with the journey we need a bit different types of support. But I would say, yeah, step number one is just connect, and share it today, share that you have heard to our stories, and every person, if they manage to make that post, our mission, and I'm sure we'll reach someone directly and actually pick it. So that's from me.
Thank you so much, Petra. I will be sharing the speakers' LinkedIn's in the chat box to make it easier. Nika, would you like to go ahead to answer the question, please?
From my side is like this, because I am totally blind. I cannot see. What I want to connect all is, for example, like here, when everything work together, we have to first understand how is people with disability needs, and how is they what they want. Because if they understand each other, for example, like for you, like we know that everyone, we have to connect everyone together, and especially for with people with disability in different ways. For me, I am blind, I need voice and text, for instance. And if we want to support each other, we have to understand each other also, and we do not want understand from the other side, but we have to understand what is the network like. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. And we now have Dr. Avery who can answer the question, and then finally Ahlam.
Okay. So thank you for that. For me, the key thing that I think we need to do is to let people out there understand that the solution exists. Like I mentioned, we've been doing this for over 7 years, but quite a number of people that have the problem don't know the solution exists. So if the network could support in getting the word out there that this solution exists for Nigerians, that's one. I'm also looking to partner with other African countries to make sure we're able to scale this solution over to those countries, because the problem is not peculiar to Nigerians. So I remember having a conversation with a mentor in Canada who also said he was from Canada but living in Thailand, and so he had the exact same problem. This problem is not an African problem. We would like to partner with as many countries as possible to ensure we're able to replicate what we're doing in Nigeria in those countries.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abi. Fantastic. And finally, Ahlam, would you like to go ahead?
Sure. For me, I think it's because we work with disabled individuals, and I've noticed that most of them don't really know that there's a solution out there that they can get adaptive clothing. So we need to actually share more about these clothes and how you can get them. And as Dr. Ibi said, we really need to have more collaborations. I think that's what helps most startups scale faster. If they have collaboration with the correct person or the correct company, we can just grow together.
Really important. I love that aspect of growing together, collaboration, partnerships, really,
Mhm.
really key. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. We have our next session. Well, actually, we have a break first before our next session. So, like Stephanie said, grab your dinner, your lunch, your breakfast. I would really like to thank all our speakers for your time, your dedication to making such impactful work happen all across the globe. Thank you once again, and thank you everyone for joining the session. We really appreciate it. Hope you learned something. Hope you connect.
Can I
And
say something, Karina, please?
of course,
Sorry, I just remember one important fact. I will be traveling to India in December to Delhi. So if there is anyone here and would like to get connected, please do message me directly on LinkedIn or on Instagram. I would love to meet you and yeah, to see if we can actually manage to meet in person. Thank you.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Petra. So I've shared Petra's LinkedIn. I've shared all the speakers' LinkedIn. So please feel free to connect and collaborate and continue to work together. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the break. See you in the lounges and in the next session in an hour. Bye, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Take care, all.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.